Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome those that are sitting in the audience and those that are watching on cable.
Thank you.
Right on. We've already
Steve.
said the pledge.
I said it for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, first item on our agenda is to sign the March 14, 2011 special town meeting warrant. Mr. Belkonis?
Board members, included in your packet is the warrant for this evening. Please refer to the blue copy. There's one article. The article is to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from any available source of funds to be added to the FY 2011 Police Department salary appropriation for the purpose of funding the 2011 educational incentive payments, and to transfer a sum of money from any available source of funds for the purposes of funding the 2010 Police Department educational incentive payments, or what it will do in relation thereto. The background information is this is consistent with a court decision which indicated that the town had a obligation under the Quinn Bill going back to July 1 of 2009. The article has been reviewed by council. It meets the legal muster, the legal requirements that we have for putting an article like this on the warrant. You'll be also discussing a bit later on this evening potential sources of funds. You'll note that within the wording of the article, neither the dollar amount is identified nor the source of funds. Those amounts will be included after the board has its warrant article public hearing coming up on March 7th, and you vote to recommend the article or and also identify the source of funds. Thank you.
Craig, the language in here doesn't seem correct. It says educational incentive payments and to transfer a sum of money from available sources for the funds for the purpose of funding 2010 Police Department educational incentive payments. Shouldn't it be 9 and 10?
No, it's 10 and 11. So we're funding
I meant 10 and 11, I'm sorry.
last fiscal year and the current fiscal year.
It only does say.
It only
FY
says
2000.
For the purpose of FY 2010. Well,
No,
Well, the
it
it does
first
say the
portion-
purpose of funding for FY 2011.
does. The first part of it says
First part of it, yeah,
FY 2011, and then it's similar wording
yeah.
for the 2010. Council asked that they be specified separately.
Okay.
That's his recommendation. We're in the business of listening to what he suggests.
Okay. Mr. Prisco?
I just want to make sure it's clear to the public that, and to the police department and all the officers, that we're doing, the reason why we have to have a special town meeting is because the process, this is the process we have to follow to transfer the money. It's not to put anybody in an embarrassing situation or to bring the public out and against this. So I just want to make sure it's clear that no one thinks that we're doing this as a strategy or it's just in a measure to embarrass the police department or to cause any issues through town. I just wanted to make sure it's for the record that it's out there. Does anyone disagree that that's the process, right?
I didn't hear any discussion suggesting that.
Yeah.
I'm okay, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure.
There's never been any discussion.
I just want to make it clear for the record. Outside these walls, I think there has been some discussion out there, out and around town, so I just want to make sure everyone knows.
To be honest with you, no one's approached me, no one has said that to me.
Okay.
It's
Nor-
the
nor
first
me.
I'm hearing it, so.
Good,
but it's-
I just want to make sure that
The
I
record's
am not.
clear, it's
It's the process we have to follow.
not a political game that's being played at all, it's the process we need to follow.
I felt strongly that I needed to state it, so
All right.
That's fine.
thank you for the opportunity.
Mr. Prisco, one more time.
Mr. Chairman, I move to sign the March 14th, 2011 special town meeting warrant.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
this is, John?
Evening, John.
It's something for me?
How are you?
Sorry, I thought you had a different one you wanted me to sign.
Gotta witness his signature. He makes an S.
You gotta help me.
Which one are you gonna use tonight?
You gotta help me. Here's the X. Thank you.
John?
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Good night, John.
Thank you, John.
Hey, Sean.
Next item on our agenda is public comment. Anyone in the audience here for public comment? Next item is legal bills for December 2010. Mr. Beltronis?
Board members, please refer to the bill in the packet, Copeland and Page, for the month of December. Total legal costs for the month, $2,452.94. That is a very low amount. You'll note that of that total, $1,548 is attributable to labor cases that are shown in detail in the billing. I would recommend that the board so approve.
Mr. Prisco?
Just a question, because some of the stuff obviously must have taken place prior to me being on the board. So when I see things like Jones versus Town and Nolan versus Town and other ones like that, so these are things that just came up, or is this something that's happened in the past?
Those are the Quinn bills.
That's Quinn bills.
Jones is the lieutenant.
So they're not new, there ain't nothing,
In terms of new things that are here, no, there's
they're just all
nothing,
the old stuff.
there's nothing on here that's new.
Okay.
But you'll see that there are a lot of things that are hanging out there, most of them related to arbitration cases that have been submitted that council's involved in, and those arbitration cases are shown, you'll note on page 3. There's one called seniority shift bidding, second one called police details, and those are things, so to speak, that are in the pipeline, so there'll be additional costs associated with both of those cases.
And then the one for the fire department is the one that we've talked about in the past, just recently, right?
Right, that's the one that's in JMLC.
James, okay. And then the one I didn't know anything about, or maybe we've talked about, I don't remember, is this related to Wilmington?
Oh, yeah.
Wilmington?
That is a grievance action involving the police department. When Aggregate Industries was on strike,
Yes, sir.
there was a division of the work between the Wilmington and North Reading Police Departments, and that there was a dispute that arose from how that overtime was being allocated amongst the two towns. So there was a grievance that was filed, the grievance was denied, the grievance resulted in the union filing for arbitration.
Thank you.
Mr. Prisco?
Mr. Chairman, I move to, it says, I move to legal bills, I guess we're missing something here.
Proof.
Approve the legal bills for December 2010 in the amount of $2,452.94 as follows. Copeland and Page PC General, $328.94. Copeland and Page PC Labor, $1,548.00. Copeland and Page PC Water, $576, for a total of $2,452.94.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Next item on our agenda is appointments, reappointments. And the first one is the Historical Commission. First and only one.
Yes,
Mr. Yule.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move to place a nomination of the following name for appointment, for reappointment as member of the Historical Commission for a term to expire on December 31, 2013. One opening, it's for Keith Young, 10 Flash Road. He's an incumbent. He has been the chairman of the committee for the past year, maybe 2 years. And he's very knowledgeable and very interested in the history of the town, and he's very good at what he does, so I recommend that he be considered.
Second that. Your motion. You made the motion,
I
right?
made the motion, yes.
Motion by Mr. Yule, second by Mr. O'Leary. Further discussion? Hearing none. I'll waive the need for a roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Next item on our agenda is funding alternatives for the Quinn bill payment. Mr. Belkonis.
Please refer to the item number 5 in your agenda packet. Quinn bill funding, the board had asked that I identify potential sources of funds for the article that was just approved by the board. Additionally, in addition to that, to provide the board with a detailed calculation showing the amount due for fiscal year 2010 and 2011, and I've done that and broken it down by officer. The only difference is that there is one calculation that shows the Quinn bill and how it impacts the outside details. So that's the only difference in the number calculation. In the first year, there's $11,500+ attributable to police details. And in the second year, the 6-month cost was $10,041. So there's a detail again by officer, and we did meet with the union and provided them with a copy of it so that they're aware of it, because I think, as I had mentioned to the board earlier, it's important that we have an understanding of how the calculations were derived, and certainly we'll be willing to meet with the union going forward. In terms,
Excuse me, Greg, just the
Yes.
detail payment, we have zeros here, again, those figures.
yeah, if you refer to the second column to the right, where you'll see retro for details.
Oh, okay.
Apologize, it's a little bit confusing. That's the true amount, so $11,598.61 for the fiscal year 2010, and then the half-year cost so far were $10,041.17 for.
In the 2011 cost, that's up to the point that we started
Yes.
paying?
Yes, yes, so it's a little bit, just a smidge over halfway through the fiscal year. The major sources of funds are included in the note to the board, February 3. Free cash is being retained to deal with our snow problem. It's also something that I would envision will be available for capital needs going into the June town meeting. The stabilization fund is a savings account, and I would not recommend that it be utilized for this purpose. In my judgment, it's something that we should retain for future use. So to speak, the town savings account, I don't think that it's an appropriate source of funds here. What I would suggest is that the major source of funds would be the overlay reserve account or the overlay account. You'll see that there's a total of $345,153 available fiscal year 2008 through 2010. It does require 2 actions. The first is approval by the Board of Assessors to release that amount. And then once it's released by the Board of Assessors, it then can be voted as an available fund at town meeting. So I would suggest that that's the appropriate source of funds for funding the Quinn bill at this point.
The assessors, have we made a request to?
Yes. Yes, the finance director